just got back from my work trip, so I'm checking on the garden this morning early. Everybody's still in bed. Dogs are up. But I have a few things coming in already, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick a few things, and got a few other things I need to get to in this video. I need to do some weeding in here, probably cultivate with the tiller again, and then next few days I really need to pull this tarp up and get some compost down here, and plant our sunflower and ornamental pumpkin patch. So we've got some flowers on the outside row here, just zinnias and a couple sunflowers, but this is going to be full of sunflowers, at least 3 different kinds of sunflowers, and then about 4 or 5 different types of pumpkin. So I got a lot going on over here, lots of weeds. This is just supposed to be wildflower, but it's mostly zinnia and grass, but that's all right. So I've actually already picked some of the squash, but you can see these are the slick pick yellow squash. They're kind of a straight squash. They're not really like your old school crookneck. But I have a few that I'm going to pick today. I think I probably have some zucchini hiding in here as well. And then we're going to look at our cucumbers. I did actually see some pickling types that look like they're ready. So apparently we got a good bit of cucumbers actually ready as well. So these are these little snacking types here. They don't get a whole lot bigger than, I guess they could get a lot bigger, but I think this is probably the perfect range to start picking some of these. And then over here I can see some pickling types that are about ready to pick too. So let's see what we get. So I'm starting to see them really load up. I did pick a few just now, not a whole lot, but by the end of next week, this whole basket's going to be full once I make a pass through here, I can tell. So I'll kind of show you some of the places. Some of them are really close to being ready to pick, so they'll be ready in the next couple days. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy because last year the cucumber, I just didn't do too great with cucumbers for whatever reason. So these look like they're doing pretty good. I'll show you what I got, and then I'll kind of show you how many, what it's looking like down here. Just a few things in the basket right now. I actually have more squash and zucchini in the house because I got excited and picked some last night that was ready. But yeah, let's look down through these rows here real quick and I'll show you what we're working with. So we got a lot of pickles in this size right here. I like to give it just a little bit more time to get bigger, but I mean, they're all down through here that size. So gonna have plenty of pickles. My slicers here still need a little bit more time to grow. They grow a little bit slower. Try and find it, and but they'll be good. So everything's looking really good out here. I'm gonna go down here, show you a little bit more. Got some weeds and stuff growing in here that hopefully that'll get shaded out. Here's one. I guess I can pick this one. It's a good pickle size. Could probably get a little bigger, but I like them around that size. But yeah, they're loaded down. We're gonna have lots of pickles this year. And these snacking cucumbers, there's a whole bunch of those that are about ready to be picked too. So They're pretty prolific. See all those right there. Let those get a little bit bigger. And also the jalapenos are starting to load up pretty well too. So I got a lot of those. I got a lot of sweet peppers and some really hot stuff coming. But the hot stuff's gonna take a little while longer. They're a little slower growing. But everything looks healthy plant-wise. And tomatoes are getting a lot of tomatoes growing on them. Potatoes are starting to yellow up and die back a little bit, so here in a couple weeks we'll be digging those.
After that one got broken, it always has my own cup.
Morning, piggies. Hey, pigs. Hey, goats that want to eat the pig food. Finn, get out of there. Down here. Well, Red hatched her little baby chicks. Right, Red? Good job, Mama. I think she's got 6 of them here. We'll see where the other ones are. Oh, there they are. All right, so I'm about to do some fertilizing on the fig trees. So just got my bucket, some AgroThrive. So AgroThrive fruit and flower here. We're gonna put a little bit of couple glugs down in this bucket. Real scientific measurement. And then we're gonna put some water in here. Give it a good swirl. I'm gonna about fill this bucket up here. Not all the way. Put that on the cart. And we're gonna go feed some plants. I'll come back and put some water in there in a minute. All right, two more trees right now.
Mosquito don't jump.
Well, I didn't get that on video, but did my best to spread out that compost the best I could. My buddy, my neighbor, brought over some compost in his dump trailer, and that was very helpful. So I may go through really shallow with the tiller and just kind of blend it in the morning, and then we're going to get started on planting our sunflowers and pumpkins. Doing a little bit more picking in the garden this morning. Got some good pickles in there, or pickling cucumbers anyways. I like to get them around this size. I don't want them to get too much bigger. I'm going to definitely be making some pickles here soon. Have a feeling I'm going to have so many pickles soon it's going to be hard to keep up with, but that's all right. I plan on making a bunch this year, putting a bunch on the shelf, and possibly selling a couple jars here and there. Zucchini and more squash. This is some very prolific squash, and early. I really like it. Slick pick. I do like this one as opposed to some of the other heirloom varieties of your early crooknecks and your dwarf crookneck type squash, just because while I like the flavor of the crooknecks, this one's got a more uniform shape, and I feel like you get more squash out of it, and it cooks more evenly, and it's easier to cut up. So you don't have to cut, weird little tiny pieces of squash. And it's very prolific early. It's a little bit more disease resistant. So for me, on the squash type varieties, I don't really do the heirloom anymore, just because it seems like the plants get huge, you don't get as much squash, and they're not as disease resistant. And I don't save seeds from squash, so there's really no advantage to me growing heirlooms. But anyhow, I'm out here this morning, trying to get a couple things done before it gets super hot. It's already starting to warm up. I can tell it's going to be another hot day today. So I really, this time of year, like to do the most of the work either in the morning or in the evening, and try to avoid being outside too much during the middle of the day. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and lightly till this compost in, and then we're going to get started planting some things. I have a couple different seed varieties here I'm wanting to plant today. Got a big bag of these Royal hybrid sunflowers. These are just a standard single stem sunflower, but they get pretty big. You can eat these, or you can do them for decorative. I'm doing the sunflowers partially for a cover crop that will help pull some nutrients deep up, but also for decorative and everything. So I'm going to plant a good amount of these. I also have, have my pumpkins in here. I got some jack-o'-lantern types. This one's called Cargo PMR. Shiver, I think it's like a white, smaller pumpkin. Expert. Cronus. I'm just trying a few different ones out. Polar Bear, it's a big white pumpkin. Duchess. And then the other sunflowers are this Autumn Beauty. It's like a bicolor, kind of golden reddish sunflower. And Ring of Fire is another pretty two-tone at least sunflower. So we're gonna get the sunflowers planted first, and then I'm gonna go in and do some other pumpkins. So I'm gonna be using this broomstick to kind of just put some holes in the ground, and then I'll drop my seeds in here. I'm gonna plant the sunflowers pretty thick in the first third of this garden, and then the rest will be dedicated to pumpkins. Like I said, I'm gonna be planting these pretty thick in here, pretty close together. I'm making a few different little divots here, and then I'm just going to start dropping seeds in. Same thing with the pumpkins. I did 3 rows of sunflowers. Did the 3 different ones, and now I'm going to start on my pumpkins. The first one I'm doing is this Cargo PMR. So I'm just going to throw 1 seed in each, about every 2.5 feet or so. Cover it up.
How much room do they take?
They take up a lot of room. These things spread out crazy. So you can see my other garden over here. They're starting to spread, but not much yet. They will take that whole garden over pretty soon. So PMR is powdery mildew resistant. So I like to get some of these seeds from Johnny's because they have a lot of disease resistant hybrids. And if you're not planning on saving seeds, then might as well go hybrid. Get a little bit more disease resistance and you'll get more production out of it. Alright guys, well that's about it for this video. I got all my pumpkins in. I didn't record everything because it's just, you know, I'm just popping seeds in the ground, but you got the basic idea. So I did a few different varieties of pumpkins, mostly jack-o'-lantern style for the kids, and a couple of white ones so that they can paint them this year. I'm hoping that in this time frame that I'll have plenty that will be, you know, in the right color, you know, orange and white by the time October comes around. I don't want them too early, that's why I waited a little bit, but so I'm hoping that I timed it right. We'll see. You know, it's always a learning process, but did 3 different types of sunflowers on the first third of it, and then the rest we did pumpkins. So I think it'll be really pretty. It should be neat, and you know, hopefully it goes well. So I have the sprinkler running behind me. I'll move it around the garden a little bit and make sure that it gets everything kind of soaked. Eventually I would like to do drip tape in my beds, but for now we're going to run the sprinkler, and then we'll assess that maybe next season or this fall whenever we put some of our fall garden stuff in. So again guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the support you show to the channel. If you do enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe so that way you don't miss any other content that may come out. The last thing I would ask is that if you enjoy one of my videos, share it with your friends so that they can see it too. It might be something they're interested in. But anyhow guys, thanks for watching and God bless.